Is this always something that you've kind of, I don't know if believe is the right word, but you've always wanted to be child free? You've never sort of seen the attraction of having kids?
That is correct. I actually did a bit of deep diving in my Twitter, now known as X, and I really tweeted I would never have kids at 16. I guess I came to this realization when I was a babysitter. So I worked heavily with kids in my teenagehood. So I realized how much hard work it was, and I was actually getting paid for it. And I couldn't imagine just doing this for free every day with no days off. It really requires a village, which that is like a lost art right now in the modern day society. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not for me mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. I was just really doing the deep diving and contemplating, like, oh, I can have a choice in this and I don't have to choose this route if it's not for me. And that's what I just constantly started doing.
Yeah, and that I mean, I kind of had this question a little bit later on, but it's kind of come up now. I mean, was that something you said that you knew it wasn't for you at that point, and you were at 16, and that's obviously a while ago now. But was that kind of something that have people often said to you, oh, you might feel different the older you get, you might grow out of it, you might change your mind? Is that something you still get now?
Yes, all the time. And I realized that we have just been conditioned to think that is the only route to live life. Find a partner romantically, to get married, to make babies, to add to capitalism, honestly, so we can keep this system going. That is the gold medal everyone wants to reach. But I realized that it's many ways to live life, many forms of happiness, it's many forms of love. I just stopped limiting myself, a shallow way of thinking, and I really started broadening my mindset and realizing that it's so much more to life than romantic love. It's so much more to life than having kids. It's so much more to life than just getting married. But that is a lot of people's default mode, and that is a lot of people's route, so they can't even see that you can live a whole nother life because I've been conditioned to just only view one way to live.
How would your lifestyle now, like you've already said how busy you are, but how would your lifestyle now be affected if you did have kids?
Oh, it will slow me down, and I would ultimately put this child first. And I think that's the most important thing as a parent. You should put your child first. I get called selfish now because I want to put myself first, which I don't think that's selfish at all. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to have boundaries for yourself. It's okay to make yourself the priority instead of other people. We have been taught to be the background character in our own life, and I want to be the main character. I sleep in if I want to sleep in. I want to just book a trip to the United Kingdom next week if I want to. I just want to be free from any obligations, anything that's holding me back, that I feel like it's harnessing my spirit overall.
And in terms of and you don't have to comment on this if you don't want to, don't feel any pressure, but I'm just curious from your kind of family side, and as you say, it's such a thing where we've been conditioned to you should have kids and you're judged if you don't. But have your family always been very supportive of your choice to do that? Or were they the same? Did they often question your choice not to do that as well?
Just me being an entrepreneur is foreign to them. The money is coming in, how I am making a living for myself, because they want me to choose the route that is safe, like play it safe so you can be safe. And I just actually told my parents, I'm like, life is not safe. You guys knew this coming in, that life is not safe for us. So now I have to take a risk on my life. I have to take risks to do business. I have to take risks to bet on myself. I can't play it safe. I can't dim my light. I can't play it small. I can't be predictable. I have to shoot for the stars. So it is really challenging being the black sheep of people's mindset and the narrative. People don't see my vision and they don't see my thought process, and that is okay, because I am like so content with my own beliefs. So I don't mind if other people don't understand, even if my family don't understand me as well.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I think as like even as a kid, I mean I'm 25 next month, but even as a kid, I felt that I already at that point I thought that having getting married and having kids, like, that was what you were supposed to do. And although personally, as you say, and everyone's making their choice, although personally I would like to get married and have kids, I'm now obviously so much more aware, especially working in the job I do, speaking to lots of different people, how many kind of different outputs and ways there are to do things. But I think you're right, even as children, it's sort of like subconsciously conditioned to think that's what you do. That is the gold medal, as you say.
That is the finished product, but no one asks during this achievement, are you actually happy? Like, why aren't you content with who you are, being grateful for this moment? Why do you feel like you need this, you need that, you need to get married, you need kids in order to be fulfilled? You can be fulfilled right now.
The kind of I mean, we sort of touched on it a little bit and saying, you know, you want to have that freedom and be able to do things whenever you like. But do you feel that by not having kids, you can, as you say, you can prioritize your career and do what you really want to in your own kind of well-being?
More hurdles and hiccups, because just as being the woman, realistically, I am the primary caregiver. I am the nurturer. I have to feed the child with my breast. So I would be more attached to the kid, and the kid will be more attached to me, because as well as I am naturally a nurturer, I want the child to feel seen, feel heard, and I will give them my full divided attention. So I can't just be scrolling on my phone while this kid is talking to me. I would have to see them and be there for them. And now I realize that most people are just having kids or exploiting their kids for social media, and I wouldn't want to do that, you know. And it's very dangerous now with social medias involved, and kids are seeing a lot now, their access to a lot sexually, and it's tarnishing their mind. And I really just don't want to think about all that, you know. I want to clear my mental capacity just to protect my own mental health. I don't want to have to worry about bringing a child here that never asked to be here, and now their mental health can be in a negative light just by social media, the media, and just so much can affect them if they're not mentally built for it. Like, you have to really be built to live this life. And some people are weak-minded, some people are followers, and knowing that I have to constantly teach them on an everyday basis to be strong. I remember actually I got fired from a daycare job because I told a kid, I'm like, hey, you can't keep telling on kids all the time. Snitches get stitches over here. So you have to stand up for yourself. And that moment hit me, like, I might just be too real for the kids because I'm trying to teach them life lessons and they not there yet.
Yeah, no, it's a big thing. And I think as well, the kind of the bit, you know, you were saying about having, you know, your own clear mind and your own mental health. I suppose if you have your children, then your own mental health would just be put on the back burner, and you wouldn't have any time to really think about what you want to do and how you're feeling, and then it would all become too much, and that's obviously not what you want. So yeah, it makes sense.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Online, because I know you share a lot of this stuff on TikTok as well. Do you often get sort of people questioning, like, your choice isn't normal, like you're some sort of, like, it's just because people don't understand it? Do you get that a lot?
Yes. Backlash and stigma behind it honestly makes me want to continue to post more. Shaking up the table, it's really shifting the mindset, and it's making people think. Even a lot of mothers have spoke out to me like I didn't even know I had a choice, or they would confirm me that I'm making the right decision. That's when I know I'm making the right decision, when mothers tell me, girl, stay child free, stay single. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this wisdom. When a parent tells me not to have kids, that's when I know I shouldn't do it. But a lot of people would not want that transparent and honest. They would want you to find out for yourself and realize, wow, this is too much. But I'm glad people are telling me this is too much before I even would try it.
That is great. Like, yeah, that's crazy, especially if a parent saying that as well. No, that definitely reaffirms your decision, I can imagine. And then slightly more closely to you, what are your friends' situations like? They all have kids, so they understand you a little bit more.
I have a wide group of friends. Some people have kids and some people don't. I hope I don't offend my friends that do have kids, but I'm still have to speak out and live my truth. I try to just speak from my point of view, but people still get offended when I'm talking about myself. And I made a TikTok video just about myself. So I cannot win, but I would hope my friends would just appreciate my transparency and my honesty overall, just like I will accept them for who they are, and I'm a part of their village. So they can always count on me to like babysit or, spend time with their child when they need a mental break. So I feel like you should be happy that I don't have no kids. So now I can help you with your kids.
Yeah. No, that leads me to the next question as well, because I was just chatting with my partner before this, and talking about the questions, and we were saying that I feel like a lot of people tend to think that if you don't have kids, you just don't like kids at all. And I think you touched on that in your TikTok video as well. Is that something that you experience?
Oh my goodness. Yes, I actually think kids are the coolest, dopest humans out here. And I feel like I'm more of a friend to them, and kids honestly keep me employed. They help me pay my bills too. So I understand how kids are human, though. They're kids right now, but they actually have feelings. They actually feel the repercussions of the trauma that will be passed down to them as get developed mentally and physically, emotionally. But I actually have empathy for the kids. I realize like I'm a kids advocate, because I think a lot of parents don't know what they're getting into when they're having kids, and kids are so transparent with me, and they feel like they can trust me because I don't have a judgmental attitude or actually listening to them, and they can really feel seen. So I'm more on the side of kids. Hard being a kid, and parents really just don't understand.
It's such a huge thing to take on.
Yeah.
Actual day-to-day, Tara, what kind of, you were talking about the fact that you can have a line, you can just go traveling when you want, you can do what you want. Like, just talk to me about some of the things that like you can do day to day. Like, what does a typical day look like for you? No kids, stress-free, that sort of thing.
Oh my goodness. So yesterday I just was traveling back to Atlanta. I was with my family for the past 2 weeks. So that was just like stress-free vacation right there. And while I was on vacation, I was revamping Self-Love Manual, my other book that I wrote in 2022. I just wanted to revamp it a little bit, change a little bit up, because I have changed my mindset from 2020 to now. We're going to 2024. So I actually got that done. For me is really like working, whether it is reading, writing, or learning. I got a lot of time, quiet time, to do those things. And on top of that, making content, making videos, and then editing the videos. I get to do that, and I take myself on solo dates a lot, or I would now, since it's a little bit chilly, I used to go to the park so I can just meditate and be one with nature. But that usually is my days, or hanging out with friends.
That sounds really nice.
It's I spend a lot of time alone, but then I've realized, like, okay, when I'm spending so much time alone, I'm recharging now. Let me reach out to my friends, and I make time for friends as well. So I have to put them on my calendar, like, let me call my friend today. I understand we get so caught up into our own lives, into our own bubble. So I have to make sure my to-do list, like, let me call my people, check up on them, just let them know I'm thinking about them.
And that your kind of typical lifestyle, as you say, you just wouldn't be able to do at all if you had children. And whilst you enjoy that lifestyle, why change it? So it makes sense.
Yes, if it's not broken, it's no need to we don't need to fix it. Yes, it brings me, the little things bring me so much joy. And I realize, like, the meaning of life is, like, you have to choose what matters to you. You have to choose what adds meaning for you.
That's a great way to think about it. Choose what has meaning to you. Fantastic, Tara. Thank you so much. That's been genuinely really, really fascinating, and I think you're a very good advocate for Childfree as well, because it's a very what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a normal option, as it should be, which I don't think a lot of people often think it is. So that's I think I'm hopeful that will really come across.